Hey everyone, it is Brianna Wilkerson here. I am a holistic health coach, essential oils advocate, CrossFit level and trainer, and the founder of Madewell. And I am just here today to talk to you about my top 5 tips to balance your hormones and lose weight sustainably, or weight loss that lasts. And so I'm jumping on here live in my Facebook group, Healthy and Thriving Christian Women. I know we've gone through a couple name changes. I'm only allowed to change the name on Facebook once every 28 days. I'm like, oh, I wanted to change it. Anyways, here we are in the group. If you are a Christian woman and you are wanting to get support, this is the place to do it in this group. Let me make sure I'm actually in the group. I am. Great. Because let me tell you, sometimes with this tech stuff, I'm always in the wrong place at the wrong time. I'm just going to wait a couple seconds for people to jump on if they want to, but I will also just kind of introduce this particular live as we wait. If you are on live or you're watching the replay or you're watching it on YouTube later, please let me know you're here in the comments. Let me know, what's going on with you. What are your takeaways for this hormones conversation we've been having thus far here in the group and everywhere that I can be found on social media, really. Let me know what you're thinking. Just say, hey, drop your name, and then we're good. I totally just stumbled in this whole intro live. Sometimes I'm very polished and sometimes I'm not, but that's okay. But I am really stoked to talk to you about this. So the really main reason I'm starting to have this hormones conversation, it's ironic because I was having this conversation on the podcast. I wanted to do the masterclass I'm going to tell you about, the free masterclass next Tuesday, in October last year. But that's actually when I found out I was pregnant. And the first trimester for me was one filled with a lot of tiredness and nausea. So that particular month, I had nothing to give. And so I was like, listen, I'm rescheduling. And many of you were so gracious, but I knew it was a topic. It was a class that many people gave me feedback around, like they were actually really excited to do it. So that's why I wanted to make sure I offered this class. Again, while my energy is at peak levels in the second trimester. So again, if you're on live, please let me know you're there in the comments so that we can be doing this together. And so before we even get started with the top 5 tips, I want to remind you of 2 free opportunities for you to get support. One is the Hormones Masterclass, which is next Tuesday at this exact time, 8 p.m. It will be held on Zoom, so you got to make sure you sign up via email. And this masterclass is me bringing my A game. It's bringing all of the education that I have learned, particularly around hormones, the basic one. I'm not going to overwhelm you. The importance of hormones and really how imbalances kind of cause a lot of these things that we are struggling with, such as weight loss, weight management. Could be thyroid issues, fertility issues, could be energy, brain fog, skin issues, all of these things. Your hormones, more than just your female ones, all the hormones in your body really play a huge, huge role. And so I wanted to bring this to the forefront of this conversation as we talk about ditching dieting, losing weight, thriving in our life, and having a healthy body. I wanted to bring that to the utmost forefront so we can have an honest conversation and so that you can feel empowered, actually, because I think often you probably like, I've tried everything known to man. What am I supposed to do? And this is exactly what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to look and what does it mean to balance your hormones, particularly through particular lifestyle changes. I will be giving both coaching and essential oil solutions. So please join that masterclass. I'm going to type it here in the comments. It's just www.madewell345.com/hormones. The next thing I want to make sure I talk about is I got off a call today and it was just great. And I just sometimes forget to let people know this, is that I do offer one-on-one coaching. It is the primary way that women, I think, feel the most supported and the most empowered and encouraged. I am naturally a teacher, but I'm also a coach. And one of the ways that I love to kind of bring those two together is through, all these masterclass, all these resources that I do, but also it's to listen to you. It's to really help guide you. It's to hold you accountable. And many of us have been struggling, or we know someone that is struggling in their health, whether it be through weight management, whether it be just feeling stressed all the time, lack of sleep, digestive issues, autoimmune issues, brain issues, like brain fog, energy, all these different things. And I'm here to tell you that I would love to walk you through this with you and really help you find breakthrough. And so if you are like, okay, Brianna, I have been watching you for a while, or I'm like just trying to figure out this on my own, and I realize I need support and accountability for a season, so I need some support. Well, then I would love for you to book a complimentary coaching clarity call. This health coaching clarity call is a space where you'll fill out a questionnaire and you'll just let me know, okay, what are my top goals? What's holding me back? Why haven't I reached them yet? And where do I want to be? And then we'll just talk with each other briefly about that. Then I'm going to hopefully give me the opportunity. I'm going to actually share some of the things that I have done with clients and some of the programs I have one-on-one that could really support you in those particular goals. This is the same thing I do with essential oils. When people want to find out about essential oils, I'm not just going to go say, hey, buy this pack. And I don't want to say to you, hey, go buy this course, or go sign up for this. What I want it to is us to talk, us to connect, and then for me to help connect with you to the right solution for you. And I have a couple one-on-one spots open before baby comes and then after baby comes, that if you're interested, do not hesitate. I have made a few spots open this month on my calendar to support you. So if you go to madewell345.com/madewell345.com/clarity, you'll get the link to my calendar. You can sign up for a time, and together we can just discuss what would it be like to move forward together. You really ditching dieting, losing weight, and feeling good and thriving in your body and life again. Okay, so I will put that in the links below as well. Comments here. Please take me up on both of these offers. Okay, so let's get into the top 5 tips. I'm going to have a blog post that goes with this. So if you're like, oh my gosh, I can't keep up, I've already written the blog post, and then when I'll put the video together, and then I'll probably publish it sometime this week so that you can have it if you're more of a reader. And I'll eventually get back to my podcast, which has both, which more for that to come. You don't know I have a podcast. It's been on break for the month of January and February. It's called the Healthy Body Podcast, and there's about maybe 140 episodes. There's a lot. So if you just want to go binge, you can go listen to that while you wait. All right. Okay. So I'm just going to get started with sharing some of these things here. And again, feel free to ask questions and anything throughout this time. So the first thing is that I think, as I said, when it comes to sustainable weight loss, what many of us don't recognize is that it's more than just about a healthy diet or exercise. It's actually also making sure our hormones are balanced and working the way that they're designed to. As I shared last week, hormones can be found in your endocrine system. It's one of the systems in your body, and it's your hormonal system. And what hormones do is they act as chemical messengers into your body, telling your body what to do. There's like a lock and key type thing. So it sends a hormone, particularly, let's say, for example, insulin. You have eat sugar of any kind, sugar's in your bloodstream. And so your body's like releases insulin, I think from your pancreas, and says, hey, we can't have this much sugar in her blood. So go store it. So insulin stores it in your liver and muscles, right? So that's just an example. Now, a lot of people become insulin resistant. So their blood pressure is high because of too much sugar, high blood sugar, all these sort of things, because insulin isn't working the way it should. It's not being produced the way it should. And that's just one example. I think most people are familiar with ones like insulin, and then for women, estrogen and progesterone, and even testosterone. But there are over like 50. So there's so many we need to consider when it comes to having a healthy body, but also losing weight, because let me tell you, in my experience and the experience that I have with working with women for the last 4 to 5 years, it is way more than just about what you eat and how much you move. Your stress, your sleep, what you put on your skin, what you smell, what you think in your mind, all of these contribute to your weight, whether it's weight loss, weight management, weight gain. Okay, so you've been doing the right thing and thinking about, okay, what do I eat and how much do I exercise? But I want us to take a look at diving deeper into those things, but in particular, other areas. So the first top tip is to really, okay, we're going to focus on nutrition here, but eat nutrient-dense whole foods. And what I mean by that, there is a difference between processed foods, which kind of had been changed from its natural form, refined, enriched, whatever, to be packaged a certain way to last longer, all those things. But whole foods, you're trying to eat it in its more natural form. Most. It doesn't mean it can't be processed at all, because a lot of the foods we eat actually are processed. Cooking meat is processed, like you're doing something to it. But I mean the most whole foods and most nutrient dense, those two things together are very important. Because, well, again, let me talk about insulin. I talked about how whenever you eat carbohydrates of any kind, even fruits and veggies, insulin breaks down these carbs into glucose or another form of sugar and stores them in your liver and muscles for later, for energy for later. However, when you eat too much carbohydrates, even the healthy kind, and also from processed foods, they break down into a lot of sugar in your body. Your livers and muscles get full. So what does insulin then do? It's like it cannot stay in the bloodstream, so it stores it as fat. And that is why a lot of people then gain weight, because you might be eating all these healthy bars. You might eat all these things, all these wheat bread, but let me tell you, that breaks down into sugar in your body. And your body stores it as fat. And actually eating more fat is probably the better way to fat loss than eating more carbohydrates, which is counterintuitive, I know, but that's just what happens in your body. So therefore, in order to reduce the amount of fat you gain and actually use that stored fat as energy later, start incorporating less sugary foods by incorporating more whole foods. And I promise you, you're going to kick off your weight loss journey like no other. For me, this really kind of was more of a reality when I started to follow a more paleo and Whole30 diet. I followed the food pyramid for a while. Because of portions and all that, I did lose weight. But when I started to follow a more paleo and Whole30 diet, I found that I started to lose fat and I became leaner. I also started to incorporate more muscle-bearing exercises. But I realized that when I was eating more whole nutrient foods, I didn't have to rely on processed carbs to give me energy. And so I actually started to use that stored energy from those nutrient-dense foods and was craving way, way less processed foods or sugar. So therefore my insulin levels were much better. I even found out how to do, replace a lot of the dishes that I love. Like I don't know if I love spaghetti, but using spaghetti squash and all that, right? So it was a super fun time, and it still is. Doing like a pregnancy version of the Whole30 now, which is the basic version, not the full, but I made broccoli salad with this garlic Whole30 mayo, barbecue chickens in the fridge with Primal Kitchens barbecue sauce, and made some plantain, and I'm going to eat it right after this, right? So it's actually really, really fun. And of course, the Whole30 is something I help people through as well. So my tip for you there, starting more whole nutrient-dense foods, is to simply add one food at a time to each meal. So maybe for you, that's adding vegetables to your scrambled eggs in the morning. Maybe it's adding a little bit of carrots to your sandwich or whatever at lunch. And maybe it's adding a little bit of good fat like avocado to a salad at night. Focus on adding one whole food from the 3 food groups. I would say 3 macronutrients: carbs, proteins, and fat. And then naturally, it's going to do something called what we call crowding out. Adding in the good foods will naturally crowd out the bad ones. Okay? So step number 1, eat nutrient-dense foods. The next thing is to make sure that is to check in with your stress levels daily. And let me explain to you how stress and hormones relate. When you are stressed, it releases something in your body called cortisol. Now, cortisol is not a bad thing. Like actually throughout the day, when you wake up, your cortisol should be higher because it's keeping you alert, on tune, on guard, but it should be lower towards the night. But what happens is that we're living in a society where cortisol has become a norm, that you are so anxious and so worried and so stressed that what happens is your sympathetic nervous system, which is your fight or flight response, is acting way too much. And it raises your adrenaline and raises your cortisol. And what happens is it shuts down other parts of your body that are not necessary for survival. So your metabolism, your digestive systems, so the way that other certain body systems work. And instead, it elevates your heart rate, your blood pressure, and focuses your brain on the task at hand. But this chronic stress level means cortisol levels will be ultimately really high, and it can contribute to health issues. Actually, stress is one of the main causes of a lot of preventable diseases, and weight issues. Because if your metabolism and your digestive system's not working, and you're stressed and you're craving foods that just want to give you comfort, which are not usually healthy foods, it's just a bad cycle. And so even if you listen to me now and you're just starting to manage your stress better, your hormones will be a lot better. And so my tip for you there is to really start, well, let me tell you my story with this. I used to be a huge stress and emotional eater. I went through a period where I had a very bad relationship with food, and I didn't eat when I was stressed, and I over-exercised. But then I went through the opposite, where food became my friend and food comforted me, and I gained a lot of weight. My hormones were out of whack. I was depressed, like all these different things. But when I later started to kind of really see, like, okay, well, one, it's a lot that went into it. So I'm not just trying to say just practice this and that's it. Like, I had to do a lot of different healing stuff and had to work through. It was a journey. But one thing I noticed that really helped me, particularly I learned this during the Whole30, was the HALT method. Basically, when I'm craving something or when I'm stressed, this is in regards to emotional eating, I could say, what's going on? I say, am I hungry, angry, lonely, or tired? And if I'm hungry enough to eat grilled chicken and steamed broccoli, which is not that flavorful, I'm really hungry, and therefore I should eat. But if I'm not, maybe I'm actually angry, maybe I'm lonely and tired. So this 5-minute exercise of self-awareness not just help reduce the stress and make me take control of it, it reduced the emotional eating. And it helps me on my journey to finding food freedom and sustainable weight loss. So I encourage you to start doing that. If you are a stress and emotional eater, and even if you're not as stressed, maybe you don't eat, you should still ask yourself, what's going on? Why am I stressed? And why am I wanting something or not wanting to eat? Like, what am I really feeling? And then asking yourself, okay, well, this is what's happening, but do I have to keep letting the stress control me? Or is it something I can eliminate, reduce, or cope with? And this is something that I really guide my clients through, both with the nutrient-dense eating and stress, because often we feel that we don't have control and that we just have to succumb to the way that our life has become, but that's not true. I really help my clients see that there's a shift that we need to make in our mindset to realize we can make a change and things can be different. Okay, so number 1 is eat nutrient-dense whole foods, and you can do that by adding 1 simple whole food in a day or 2 each meal. Number 2 is check in with your stress daily, practice that HALT method, and kind of ask yourself, do you really need to be stressed about this thing, or can you eliminate it? And number 3 is to simply sleep more than you think. Many of us know we need to sleep. We know that we feel better, we have better energy, we have a better mood. But did you know that you also balance your hormones really well when you sleep? For example, melatonin is produced at night when you sleep. It is the one that helps you, like, at the end of the day, you start to get tired. You have elevated cortisol levels, it won't do this. So at the end, stress and sleep go hand in hand. You can get tired and you start to prepare yourself. Your body starts to prepare yourself a little bit of dark. That's why I'm wearing these glasses right now, because I'm in a lot of light and I want to sleep later. So I want my melatonin to still be operating the way it should. But, so when you're in that, when you sleep more, it does the opposite. We talked about the sympathetic nervous system. It goes to the parasympathetic, which is your rest and digest state. And when you're in this rest and digest state, which not just you should be doing when you're sleeping, but throughout the day, you need to be like peace. 2 hormones help with your eating levels in particular. Leptin, which is a hormone that helps you feel fuller longer, is produced at night. Ghrelin, I always see this one as gremlin, but it's ghrelin, a hormone that helps you feel hungry, which you need to feel hungry. Like, it's a communication to your body when you have not eaten and you need more energy, you should eat. But that is produced in higher quantities when you're not sleeping. So let's just run through that. If you're not sleeping the way you should, your body will tell you to eat more. And it will tell you to eat foods that are not the best because it wants a quick energy boost. So literally, it's not you if you're craving certain things. If you're constantly tired because you're not sleeping, of course you can't choose to eat the foods you want to because your body's just tired and it wants energy. So just go sleep. And I found that when I did the Whole30, my first one, and I practiced better sleep patterns because I tried to incorporate other habits while also eating differently. I felt fuller longer. Not only did I lose weight, but I had more energy and I wasn't craving certain things as much. Even now, I've only been doing it for a week and I've been doing a slightly different version, but I'm already feeling much better at the gym. I'm like craving salad. Like, thank the Lord, because I was not craving salad the first 4 or 5 months. But just it's amazing how that shifts, right? And so I'm also sleeping better. So just start to sleep. And simple way is to create a sleep routine for yourself. Maybe for you, it's dimming the lights or lighting some candles, diffusing some oils, reading or coloring, whatever you need to do, wind down. Start to tell your brain that it's time to sleep. Okay. So number 1 is eat more nutrient dense foods. Number 2 is check in with your stress daily. Number 3 is sleep more than you think. And number 4 is one of my favorites. Use more natural products. So natural products are kind of the rave right now, aren't they? Like, we want all natural this, all natural that, and natural can mean absolutely anything. But what I mean is like toxin-free or barely any toxins at all. You know, when we usually think of toxins or traditional toxicology, we think of only high dosage of toxic substances to harm us, like don't drink a bottle of bleach or don't smell exhaust or all these things. But I'm actually talking about the ones that are in our personal environment and everyday products, where a lot of studies have shown that low dosage exposure over time is actually harming our bodies. And it's contributing to things like weight gain, obesity, insulin resistance, diabetes, chronic fatigue, brain fog, depression, anxiety, learning issues, and sometimes even cancer. I think there was a study done or saying something about like 5% of cancers is actually genetic, 95% is lifestyle stuff, right? So toxins, what I'm talking about is the personal ones, the synthetic ones that have made its way into many of the products you have. The reason why the hormones come in here is because toxins are endocrine disruptors or hormone disruptors, meaning that they mess with your hormones and your hormones aren't able to do what they're supposed to do. Many of these toxins can act as estrogen mimickers, meaning your body thinks it has estrogen or may think it doesn't, and it may look like it, and it's trying to deal with all this fake estrogen in your body, which we need, ladies. We need not just for our cycle, we need it to monitor energy levels. We need to monitor, like, you know, I think it's progesterone that helps with us getting our hips, whatever. We just need that. And that is one that often for many women, as you get older and you approach menopause and all these things, that is, you know, you won't necessarily have as much of it. So when you do, you need to monitor it well and make sure nothing's messing with it. And one of the key ways I've started to reduce my toxic load, again, when I started to do the Whole30 or started to pay attention to my holistic way of caring for my body, is I started using essential oils. That's why I'm an essential oils advocate. I started studying why they work, what they are, what they're made of. I use a very pure brand. And I now use a lot of products from that brand because I finished the unscented lotion, which I usually take the unscented lotion and add some oils to it from doTERRA. And I'm so used to that I've been like using it sparingly because I'm about to place my order and I don't want to use anything else. Like, I'm really concerned about what I put on my body because I recognize all this happens. And I think part of the reason why the second part of pregnancy has been pretty good for me is because of all these tools and the ways that I've taken care of myself from years before. And so, you know, I've used oils like lemon and tea tree to clean. I've used oils like the On Guard Productive Blend, Boosting Blend to not get sick in this flu season as everyone else is sick, you know. I've, you know, even started to think about, okay, well, if I can't always buy organic, how can I clean them more? I use baking soda and lemon essential oil. I now use, I figured out different ways to even detox my kitchen by different pans that don't have leaky stuff into it, or different cleaning solutions or hair and skin solutions. So I've gone on a journey, but that started over 4 or 5 years. But one thing I think you can do in this area is to look at the 5 main areas of your personal environment. I would say that's your food, your kitchen, your cleaning solutions, and your hair and skin. And just pick one of those areas: your food, kitchen, cleaning, hair, and skin. One of those areas, and pick the top product you use in those areas. And see if there's a better alternative. You can use the Environmental Working Group's website. They have a lot of stuff on like ratings of products. You could just make a do-it-yourself option. Like for example, maybe you're like, I want to change my cleaning solution. Man, I suggest you get some baking soda, Castile soap, vinegar, lemon, and tea tree oil. Those 5 things gonna get you a long way, right? So that's just an example there. And again, this is something I help my clients with, just changing their habits, but also from an essential oils point of view, I help women get those solutions in their hands. So tip number 1, eat nutrient-dense foods. Tip number 2, stress less. Check in with your stress daily. Number 3, sleep more than you think. Number 4, use more natural products. And number 5, this one's brief, but it's important, is move your body daily. Exercise is key when it comes to balancing your hormone. When you move daily, not only does it detoxify your body of a lot of toxins and just, your blood system is working and all this sort of stuff. Your body calls upon that stored energy that you ate from your nutrient-dense foods that has been stored in your muscles, livers, and, maybe fat. And it releases through glucagon, an energy-releasing hormone, that energy to your body. So when you're eating that nourishment, your body's using it. When you move, when your body needs to call upon energy, which is calories, like eat calories so your body can use it. That's why we're eating, and that's why we're moving, is because we're meant to move, we're meant to be in motion, but we need to eat. Just don't think you need to eat. And actually, many diets you probably have been on, you aren't eating enough. So eat, but focus on eating nutrient-dense foods. So one way to do this is start by tracking how much you move each day and just see if there's a simple way that you can add in more movement. It may be just parking further. It may be walking your dog instead of having your child walk it. It may be going on a walk on the weekend, or it may be more intentional stuff like doing a dance class or CrossFit, right? So move your body daily. So let me review those 5 tips, and then I would love for you, if you're watching live, the replay, or whenever, just to comment and tell me which tip most resonated with you and you're going to start with this week. So the first is to eat nutrient-dense foods. 2 is to check in with your stress daily. 3 is to sleep more than you think. 4 is to use natural products. And 5 is to move your body daily. And those 5 tips are kind of like some of the 5 main areas I work with women in to lose weight that last. Because again, it's more than just about exercise and what you eat. Those are important, but your stress, sleep, and the toxin products you expose yourself to can be contributing to weight gain, or just inability to lose weight, actually. So let me know in the comments which tip resonated with you and which one you're going to apply. And then again, I'm going to invite you to 2 things. You can do both, or just whichever one you feel best for you. Usually you're not supposed to do 2 call to actions, but I think it's important for me to say. If you're like, I'm really interested in this, and I think my hormones are the thing that is holding me back from sustainable weight loss and health, sign up for the free masterclass next Tuesday. Because not only am I going to go through some stuff like this, I'm going to go link to a little bit more than just weight loss, other health issues, and give you some coaching and some essential oil solutions to help you go forward. It's supposed to be for about an hour. Hopefully we get through it all. And depending on where you're at, you might be in different stages of where your metabolism is high, or maybe your metabolism is low because you're older, all these things. I want to try to get everyone on this call so we can have a real conversation in the chat box of the Zoom. So basically it's coaching for an hour. But then, I do think most of the women have found a lot of breakthroughs working one-on-one with me. So I have a couple one-on-one spots. I got the energy now. I'm really trying to push this because I want to support as many women as I can. And even when the baby comes, I'm going to be doing it still, but you just don't know what your schedule is going to look like then, right? So I want to be able to offer it right now. So if you would love some support in, ditching dieting, losing weight, feeling good in your body again by working on a lot of these sustainable habits, book a health coaching clarity call at madewell345.com/clarity. Book it sooner the better, because those spots will fill up. All right, so if you go to madewell345.com/hormones, you can sign up for the class. And if you missed the class, that's okay. Still book the call, because I think the call is really important. Or you can even just sign up for my list on one of my freebies so you can still stay up to date on stuff. But book the coaching clarity call, because I think that's where you're going to probably get the breakthrough of what may be the next step for you, and then maybe how my programs can help you with that next step. Okay, that's it for me. If you have been watching, you're on the replay, hello. Just again, let me know what is your top tip that you're taking away and how you're going to do that to balance your hormones, lose weight, or just feel good in your body again. Grateful for you guys. I'll see you live. I won't be here live next week, but I'll be on I'll be on Zoom for the webinar. So don't miss out on that. Please share it with your friends. Ladies, we all need help in this area. Share it with your friends. Okay? Talk to you later and see you soon.